Good morning and welcome to the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast. I'm Esther.
And I'm Melanie.
And today we're talking about elevator pitches.
Yes, the dreaded elevator pitch. It's something that we all have to get on top of at some stage. It is the fastest and shortest way to get across our message, convey any problems that we can solve, and it becomes our tagline sometimes, or even our mission.
Yeah, it does. And I've been to a few networking events where people just go on and on and on. They must be on a skyscraper elevator because it takes them at least 5 minutes to describe what they do. And I still don't know what they do at the end of it. So this is why we're here today, to give a few tips, because at the end of the day, when you go and do your elevator pitch, that is part of your marketing.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, if you cannot explain it clearly enough, then there's no way anybody's going to understand it.
Yes. So whatever your business, you need to know what it is that you do. Okay. Because yes, you know what you do, but explain it to someone who has never met you before.
So it's normally 30 to 60 seconds long.
Yeah. And it takes a lot of practice to get it down to that length of time, because especially as you grow as a business and add services and add things in, you want to tell everybody everything that you do. But sometimes less is more.
Yes. But it has to be good, clear language, powerful words, and preferably try and avoid jargon if you can.
Yeah. There's no point in me, for example, going and saying we do SEO, VA, VR, AR, and just spouting off a whole list of letters if people don't know what they mean in the first place.
No.
So some tips, Melanie. Let's give some tips.
Well, have a hook.
What's a hook? Are we going fishing?
No. The hook is, normally a hook would be answering a problem. Now, one of the first things I would recommend you do before doing your elevator pitch is to listen, because you can construct an elevator pitch to match the requirements of the person you're listening to. So once you've listened to them, you can create a hook. You can answer a problem that they're having.
Yes, and it's always a good idea when you're introducing yourself to somebody else to ask them to go first. So then you know what their problem is. And if you have practiced what you do beforehand, then you'll know what part of your elevator pitch to use.
It's also helpful if you put in your pitch, because I know you're saying you want to solve a problem that they're having, but you also need to say, what do you want from the pitch as well?
Yes, so it's not just a one-way street. It's not just, yes, this is how I can help you, but you also want to say something that you need help with as well.
Or the way you can actually support the person. So have you got an elevator pitch, Esther?
I have a few, yes. Sometimes we're just asked to describe what we do in 7 words or less.
Gosh, I don't think I can do that.
The easiest one was 3 words. It's all things digital in my case. So that sums it all up. And then that then leaves it open for a lot of people to go, well, what all does that entail? And it opens it up for more questions. Because if you just go off and spout everything that you do, you lose people in the middle of it. But what about you, Melanie?
There's no relevance to them, is there, to certain words?
What about you, Melanie?
Well, mine has actually, I don't know how it's managed. It's been over a few years now, but it's kind of warped into my mission now, because my mission would be my elevator pitch to a certain extent. But it's not 7 words. But my mission is to support business owners to manage their own social media and time better. And when they can no longer manage it for themselves, I manage it for them.
So first of all, you're providing a way for them to do it.
Yes.
And if they don't want that, then you're giving them a way out.
Yeah. So, but I like the fact that my mission is to empower others. I want them to understand what social media managers are doing. And because I'm sort of handing back the power to them.
Yeah. And that's what you were saying about using a powerful word.
Yeah.
Using a word like empower, encourage, support. Yeah. So
Give me yours. I've given you've seen mine. Show me yours.
well, like you were saying, they evolve and
Yeah.
they go, it depends on the situation that I'm in as well. Depends what networking group I'm talking to, what
you're still
audience
not telling
it
me.
is. No, I'm
Come on.
not.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
So IPA Group is here to provide services for you to be seen online and to be found for what you sell. We're here for you.
Oh my God. I feel like I want to cuddle you.
Because at the end of the day, it's not what we do is not about us. It's about what you get out of it at the end.
And I suppose I'm saying the same thing, aren't I? I'm saying at the end of the day, you get the power.
Yeah. So how do you make people feel all warm and fuzzy with
that? Just like that.
I should have written that one down. You see, mine evolves in my head all the time.
Yeah, just listen to the podcast.
I will. Listen back and take notes.
But you're right, it has to make people feel something.
It does. It does.
Otherwise, it's not memorable. And I'm hoping that my message is memorable because it makes people feel supported and empowered.
Yeah. And depending on who your audience is, depends on what power words you're going to be using. So if your audience is more male, then you're going to be using stronger, more masculine words.
I agree.
And that's what you notice all the time when you're meeting up with people as well, or you're on these online networkings now that a lot of people have. You just have to read the room to know. But that's why you need to practice your elevator pitch. You need to script it maybe at the start and, whittle it down to the bare bones. Don't be waffling on just for the sake of filling 60. If you're given 2 minutes, you don't need to fill the 2 minutes. If you're given 30 seconds, try to stick to 30 seconds.
Yes. At the end of the day, it is something you need to keep practicing. But what I would always recommend, and I know Esther would too, is please listen first, because you'd be amazed at how you can adjust what your pitch is to actually meet the expectations of the person you're speaking to.
Yes, and don't be afraid if there is another person in the room that does something very similar to you. Melanie and I do something very similar, but our pitches are completely different.
Absolutely. And it's not just that. People connect in different ways.
Yeah.
We have different mannerisms. We speak in different ways. We have different temperaments. And I know it's very difficult, doing this and conveying this virtually, but we're so fortunate that we can use visual aids like Zoom or FaceTime or even WhatsApp video, that we can still read the other person quite clearly. And so use this to your advantage. It's a very, very important networking tool.
Yeah, and it can also, like Melanie says, convert into your strapline or your tagline on your website as well, and use it for your SEO and to grow your business that way. Because if people are looking to be empowered, they will find Melanie.
And if somebody wants to feel all warm and fuzzy, they'll find Esther. True though.
Thank you. I'm feeling all empowered by you.
So when you're actually constructing, now this wasn't done over 5 minutes. This has taken us years. And to sound confident about what you're saying also takes a very long time as well.
Yeah.
So this isn't something you're going to construct immediately, and it's going to change and warp and adapt over time, especially as your services change, your confidence builds, and obviously the audience you're in front of. So I'd really appreciate it if you practice yours today, and if you've got any really nice strap lines or any elevator pictures you want to share with us, put it up on your social media and tag us.
Yes, or put it at the bottom of our social media.
Cool.
Comment on our social media podcast when we share it out. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully you can go now and start writing your elevator pitch. Practice it in front of the mirror. That's a mirror or a mirror. You want to say it, Melanie? Right, mirror. There we go. Practice it. Record yourself doing it. Then your confidence will go up the more you say it and the more you practice it. And don't worry about getting it wrong or saying a few words out of order. Nobody's going to think less of you for that.
No.
Have a good week, guys. Thanks for joining us again. And we'll be back next week for more Monday Morning Marketing Podcast.
Ta-ta for now.